When the writing was on the wall that I was going to have to cut everything is kind of meh and replace it with something, my wife, Lucy Cochran, sprang into action. She was like, why aren't you writing for the characters that are in the film that are so great? The shrunken head guy, the smoked himself to death guy in bed, the magician's assistant that's sawn in half, or Miss Argentina. Like, why aren't you writing something for Miss Argentina? Miss Argentina was in the show as a background character in Washington, D.C., but she really just sort of stood in the line for the metal detector to go into the netherworld. She walked through it, dinged, she was off. So it was not a speaking part. It had no song. It was nothing. It was just all about Boy Inferno. And Lucy sent me the YouTube clip, just of that tiny little scene of Miss Argentina in the film. And I'd obviously seen Beetlejuice the film, and I went back and watched it again when I was writing this gig. But you tend to sort of put the source material on the shelf a little bit because I don't know if other people are like this, but I tend to get a little bit like, we're making our own world now. And I don't want to just be beholden to the film. I don't want to put the film on stage. I want everything to feel like a logical. And by that point, we've been writing the show for so long that if it hadn't created its own sort of mass and gravitational pull to find the right ideas to come into it, then the movie surely is not the right place to go back to. But it was, because I was like, wow, she just has that one line. If I knew now what I knew then, I wouldn't have had my little accident. I mean, that is a brilliant line. And I'm like, well, that's got to be a song. So much to Lucy's delight, I went and I wrote this song, and I wrote it really, really quickly. And also because, Argentina is the land of the tango, and I love Latin music. I knew I wanted to start it as a tango and then kind of Latin it up. And I also remember the crazy moment in where we were trying to work out what to do with actors and playing Miss Argentina, who had gone from being, a non-speaking ensemble role to very much a giant production number. And Leslie Kritzer, I don't think she will mind me saying this, she just walked over to us and she's gone, I'm just saying that I can get off stage really fast in the seance, and I reckon I can make that change, and I can come out as Miss Argentina, and I will rock the shit out of that song. And we're all like, oh, okay. And we thought about it, and we're like, yeah, let's do that. And from the first moment Leslie Kritzer got her hands on that song, I mean, she did this thing that I will never forget. Freaked me out. Freaked everyone out. She had this kind of like a dancer's sort of singlet on. What do you call them? Singlet, tank tops? I don't know what you call them in America. But she was doing there was like a showing. So we'd done this whole lab, and it was the first time people were going to see it. She just new to the song. And at some point in the show, she just grabs the straps on her shoulders of her tank top and just yanks her top down. And I was like, oh, what is happening? But she had a sports bra underneath, but there was this moment where like the whole audience was like, holy shit. And from that point on, she just kicked the hell out of the song. It was an amazing thing to watch. And we're like, well, this has got to be the way. As you'll hear in this song, there's actually a verse for the footballer, wanted to get played by Gilbert, our actor Gilbert, and he was very gracious when we cut this verse. It was just sort of like not necessary to give the whole footballer a background as well as Miss Argentina. We wanted to keep it kind of singular, but you'll hear in there a kind of a Ricky Martin-ish verse for the footballer whose dream was to dance, but he was too scared of his father to dance. So, this is it's a little faster than it is in the Broadway show, but this is the original demo of What I Know Now.